Hi guys. I've been asking for help in the medical world for the last 6 or 7 weeks after having severe neck pain and my hands and feet are numb. Nobody was able to help me even though all tests were done. So I got a little critical about if they were telling me everything right, and I was never critical towards medical people. But the thing with our world is that the higher people go, the more money, prestige, ego, the more they have to lose, the less they care about humanitarian things. And we consider doctors as a species that helps with people, right? I always did that. But I changed my mind in my teenager years when I had severe issues with having my period, and I didn't have my period, and people would just like prescribe me birth control, and I was like, no, you don't get it. I don't want birth control. I want to have my period, and I want to know what's wrong with my body. People just cured the symptoms and tried to cure the symptoms. The reason for not having my period was my thyroid issues. Nobody figured out for like 5 years at least. And then I started to change my perspective about the medical world and start to compare the medical world with politicians and economy, and that high, like if you have a lot of titles, you and a lot of income, you can lose all that. So people want to protect what they could lose. I never thought people would lie to me, doctors would lie to me, but I changed my mind after I got several x-rays done for my neck in the last couple of weeks, and everyone told me everything is fine. I went to the emergency with severe pain in my neck and the feeling of numbness, and I couldn't feel I still can't feel my hands and feet, and the feeling of I'm going to be paralyzed. They checked on my neck and I was so confused they wouldn't find anything, right? And the woman in the hospital, the doctor, said, no, we didn't find anything. If we would have found a tumor, that would make sense that you act so weirdly, but we couldn't find anything. It's a German clinic here close to where I live. So they done 2 tests, right? I was begging 20 people for help because my feet would get numb. I don't feel my hands and I can move my body, thankfully, but I cannot feel my arms and legs, or my hand and feet especially. They would send me to a psychiatrist. They told me after knowing me for 5 minutes that I have that my psyche is sick, that my psyche would play games with my body. So they basically told me there's something wrong with my mental health. Me, who's going to therapy for several years and is getting help and like is constantly reflecting on my life, got told I'm mentally sick by a woman who knows me for 5 minutes and asked me when I was eating last time and why didn't I bring shoes to the hospital. The reason why I didn't bring shoes was because I was in an emergency and I fell in my room because of my neck pain and I couldn't move my arms or feel my arms. I could move my arms, but I couldn't feel my arms. long story short, this is a message for light workers and empath and highly sensitive people. If somebody didn't help us in sickness and disease, maybe dying, maybe you have a past life where you were dying and people were watching you dying, right? There's a huge theme for me of past lives, being killed by being cut through the throat or hanged or strangled. I had issues this lifetime with my thyroid and speaking truth and having a strong backbone, having a strong back to walk my path, to speak my truth, to speak up. What I figured last night, which was a huge revelation, was it was never my fault. I carried so much shame and guilt and blame. If you're interested in all of the subject of light workers and star seeds, watch Adrienne Elise. She's exactly talking about why we carry so much shame and guilt. Because we think it's our fault that we weren't heard, that we weren't listened to. 2 days ago, I'd done a new X-ray, and the next day I've done another X-ray, and I've done one in a clinic, and they showed me a clear and a straight spine. And the next day I was kept able of taking pictures of the X-ray before the doctor came in, and those pictures look completely different than the others from the clinic. I was yelling for help, screaming for help for the last couple of weeks, and nobody helped me. Yesterday I had the revelation that it is not my fault. It's not my karma to carry if people don't see me, don't listen, don't hear my truth, don't take me seriously, and don't help me. So for every light worker in Starseed and Empath, it's not yours to carry if somebody doesn't see your truth, if somebody doesn't help you. It's not yours. My neck is hurting. It's not yours to carry. And it's not your fault, and you can drop it and know that your truth is your truth. And if people don't hear you and you were right, that is not your fault if you have been trying to get their attention for maybe lifetimes or weeks or years, right? So you can drop that, and your truth is still your truth. And if you die or live with that truth, this is what matters. And it's a liberation to understand that you carried your truth authentically, and people wouldn't hear you, people wouldn't see you, and maybe you die because of that. But it was never your fault, because you've asked for help, you tried everything, you were speaking louder and louder, and you were maybe yelling. And your truth is your liberation, and nobody was hearing you, then it was not. It's not your fault. That's what I wanted to say. It's not your fault if people don't hear you and didn't take you seriously. It's a karma you can drop now and stand in your truth. Know what is yours, and you've tried your best, and you can let go. Bye.